Why does purpose matter so much when you look at people who have lived past 100? Studies show a sense of meaning slows cognitive decline, lowers stress hormones, and boosts immune function. Without a guiding why, routines become mechanical, and the body responds with fatigue and inflammation. Centenarians repeatedly tell us that when day feels tied to something larger, family, craft, or community, they wake up eager, and bodies follow suit. In the next few minutes, I'm going to give you 10 concrete lessons, straight from people who've actually lived past 100, and you can start applying them today. We'll break down what they focus on, how they think, and the daily actions that add up over time. First, let's see what truly matters to those who've hit the century mark. Why does purpose matter so much? When you look at people who have lived past 100, studies show a sense of meaning slows cognitive decline, lowers stress hormones, and boosts immune function. Without a guiding why, routines become mechanical, and the body responds with fatigue and inflammation. Centenarians repeatedly tell us that when day feels tied to something larger, family, craft, or community, they wake up eager, and bodies follow suit. What exactly do centenarians say they prioritize? Across cultures and continents, three themes emerge consistently: deep relationships, lifelong passions, and a sense of contribution. They talk about spending afternoons with grandchildren, maintaining friendships that have lasted decades, and staying involved in activities that give back. Whether it's mentoring younger neighbors, volunteering at a local garden, or simply sharing stories at community gatherings, these priorities aren't grand ambitions. They're everyday choices that reinforce a feeling of belonging and usefulness. By aligning daily actions with these values, they create a feedback loop where purpose fuels energy, and energy sustains purpose for lasting health. How can you translate those priorities into your daily routine? Start by mapping the three pillars onto actions. For relationships, schedule a 15-minute phone call or coffee meetup twice a week. For passion, set aside a time block, maybe 10 minutes after dinner, to practice a skill you love, whether it's painting, gardening, or learning a new language. For contribution, identify one simple way to give back today: a handwritten note to a neighbor, sharing a useful tip online, or volunteering for a community task. Consistency, not intensity, is the secret. Take the story of Eleanor, a 102-year-old former schoolteacher from Ohio. After retiring, she could have slipped into a quiet, solitary life, but she chose to volunteer at the local library, teaching adult literacy classes twice a week. She also kept a weekly video call with her grandchildren, sharing stories from her teaching days. Eleanor says, "The combination of mentoring learners and staying emotionally connected is what keeps her mind sharp." She recalls a moment when a student finally grasped a tricky grammar rule, and the joy she felt was a reminder that purpose fuels vitality. Even after a century, the biggest mistake most people make is waiting for a big event to spark purpose. They think they need a dream job, world travel, or a major milestone before feeling meaningful. Centenarians show that purpose is built moment by moment through acts of love, curiosity, or service. Delaying that feeling deprives the brain of the neurochemical boost that keeps it resilient and robs you of everyday joy that fuels longevity. Write a one-sentence purpose statement right now, something that excites you and guides your actions this month. Put it on a sticky note where you'll see it daily in your workspace. Now that you've anchored your day with purpose, let's explore the mindset that keeps you resilient through life's challenges every day. Why does mindset matter? When you look at people who have outlived a century, research shows that a chronic negative outlook spikes cortisol, impairs immune response, and accelerates cellular aging. When you expect disaster, your body prepares for it, and that wear and tear adds up. Centenarians repeatedly tell us that the mental lens they use, acceptance, curiosity, and a forward-looking optimism, acts like a vaccine for stress. What specific mental habits keep them buoyant? First, they practice radical acceptance. They acknowledge what is happening without fighting the reality of loss, illness, or change. Second, they reframe every difficulty as a data point, not a defeat, asking themselves, "What does this teach me?" Third, they cultivate a gratitude habit that lasts 3 minutes, even after a disappointment. This short pause rewires the brain toward reward pathways, making future challenges feel less threatening. Together, these habits form a resilient mindset that lets them bounce back faster and stay engaged with life. How can you embed those habits into your own day? Start with the pause on label technique. When frustration arises, say a missed deadline, take a breath, name the feeling, I'm annoyed, then state a neutral fact, the report is unfinished. Next, flip it. Ask, what can I learn from this delay? Write the answer on a sticky note for 3 minutes, then move on. For gratitude, set a timer for 3 minutes after any negative event and list 3 things that went well, however small. Finally, adopt a simple mantra, such as what can I learn now, and repeat it silently whenever you feel stuck. Practice these steps 3 times a week to rewire the habit loop. Microstory. Juan, a 104-year-old farmer from Spain, lost his entire harvest to an unexpected frost. Juan walked his fields, examined the soil, and noted which varieties survived. He called his neighbors, exchanged seeds, and planted a new crop. The following spring, he says the frost taught him which beans resist cold, saving his farm for the next 20 years. His resilience wasn't a trait, it was a practiced routine of asking, what's the next useful piece of information? The biggest mistake most of us make is to suppress emotions. We tell ourselves, I'm fine, and then bottle the disappointment until it erupts later as anxiety or illness. Centenarians don't deny pain. They name it, feel it, and then deliberately shift focus to the lesson or the next action. Ignoring feelings deprives the brain of the processing step that clears emotional clutter and leads to chronic stress. Quick win. When something goes wrong, set a 3-minute timer. Write the lesson you extract and close the note. You'll see the pattern of learning appear faster than you expect. Now that you've built a resilient mindset, let's move to the concrete, repeatable habits that turn those mental shifts into lasting health benefits for you and your future. Why do tiny, repeated actions beat occasional heroic feats? Cells respond to frequency, not intensity. One marathon spikes fitness briefly, but daily micro-movements keep mitochondria humming, joints supple and metabolism steady. Inconsistent habits let the body slip back to an aging baseline. Centenarians say a steady rhythm of movement, simple nutrition, social contact, and mental play is the invisible glue that holds them together for a century. What concrete habits show up in almost every centenarian's day? First, they move in short bursts. 5 minutes of stretching, a hallway walk, or light chores. Second, they follow a color plate rule. Half vegetables, a quarter protein, a quarter whole grains. Third, they protect social health with a weekly social slot, whether coffee with a friend, a phone call, or a community group. Fourth, they keep their brains active by spending 15 minutes on a challenging hobby, puzzles, music, or a new language. Each habit is simple, low stress, and easy to stack onto existing routines. How can you start stacking these habits right now? Begin with the 5-minute rule. Set alarms for 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 4 p.m. Then stand to stretch or walk to the kitchen. Pair movement with the color plate by preparing a lunch that includes 3 colored veggies, a palm-sized portion of fish or beans, and a quarter cup of brown rice or quinoa. Schedule your social slot on a calendar. Pick a day, time, and person, then treat it like a non-negotiable appointment. Finally, choose a brain-stimulating activity you already enjoy and commit to 15 minutes after dinner. Using a timer to stay honest, link each new habit to an existing cue, like brushing teeth or lunch, so it rides the wave of an established routine. Microstory. Maria, a 101-year-old pianist from Portugal, swears by a 3-minute morning scale. Each sunrise, she sits at the piano, runs a C major scale for exactly 3 minutes, then notes how her fingers feel. She says the brief daily practice keeps her motor skills sharp, memory vivid, and mood uplifted. When asked why she never does a full-hour session, she laughs. 3 minutes every day beats a marathon once a year. The common mistake is chasing big, dramatic changes, signing up for a 30-day diet, buying an expensive gym membership, or tackling a massive reading list. Those spikes fade quickly, leaving a gap that feels like failure. Centenarians stick to micro-actions that require minimal effort and can be repeated forever. Quick win. After this video, open your fridge, pick 3 colorful veggies, and add a protein source to make a simple platter. Snap a photo, post it, and commit to eating that plate for lunch. You'll create a visual cue for the color plate habit in under a minute. Now that you have purpose, a resilient mindset, and a toolbox of daily habits, you're ready to live with longevity mindset of a centenarian. Purpose, a resilient mindset, and consistent tiny habits form the 3 pillars centenarians rely on to maintain health, happiness, and longevity throughout their lives daily. Pick one habit from each pillar, try them this week, and share your progress in the comments. If you found this useful, hit subscribe, like the video, and ring the bell so you never miss future life-changing insights for growth.